it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today. Today I am going to be carrying on with my little pack of cards. So if you joined me yesterday, oops, see, I knew that wasn't fully dry. I film my videos kind of back to back. So I literally just finished this video when I started, sorry, the last video when I started this video. And that hadn't adhered properly, but that's fine, it's there now. I made these mini gift cards yesterday, as in gift cards for gifts or cards for sending. And I thought it would be nice to put them all in a box. So I then had a look at whether I was going to design a box or what. And then, of course, I remembered that in the Dress to Impress suite, or best dress suite, we have a gift bag. And these fit. So I thought I'd make a gift bag for them. I'm going to change the design because in the catalogue they are done as a definite bag. I am going to just find them for you because they're actually on this next page. So they're here. So these are definitely bags and backpacks. I'm actually not going to put the straps on, but I will show you what I am going to do. So I've got the die. I've already cut two in basic black, and I'm going to be covering the front and the back with the same designer series paper that I used for the cards, and there's a really easy way of cutting it. So I've done one already, which is this one, but I thought I would show you how to do the next one. So all you do is make sure you've got your paper the same way up for both, or not, whichever takes your fancy. And I've lined up the inside edge of the die with the bottom of the paper, and then just grab a pencil and draw around the inside of the die like that, and then just cut it out, as simple as that. And it's the perfect size for sticking onto the front/back of your little bag. So take that off. So I do the long sides first, like that. That's scrap, that's scrap. And then cut straight across to get both of the top edges, and then just cut round the line that's there. And as you can see, I move the paper, not my scissors. All I do with my scissors is open and close them, and then just move the paper, and then you get a nice curve. It's just the easiest way of fussy cutting, and those two bits definitely are rubbish. Okay, so I'm going to adhere these to my bags first because it's much easier to stick something to a flat surface than to something that is 3D. So you could use snail, but this is a new bottle. It shouldn't be. I've had it tip up, which means it's not flowing to the tip. I'm just going to make sure I break that bead because that's quite a big bead of adhesive. And then you do not need very much. I do find a scribbling motion is best if you can, because that seems to spread it out nicely. Just grab an edge, and it fits really nicely just inside the stitching. And if you're using the liquid glue, you have that little wiggle room to make sure that it's even all the way around. And then the other one is done in exactly the same way. And again, I need to break that bead because it's too big. And the reason I say break the bead, if you have a big bead of adhesive close to the edge of your die, when you flatten it, it may squirt out, which is fine, except, I mean, the glue dries clear, but it's not great having it there because it is a tacky glue. So if you have it exposed, it will potentially be a bit tacky. So that bit there, which I can see you may not be able to, I've just wiped off. And grab a bone folder, and I'm going to do it from the back. Less likely to move your piece of paper if you squish from the back. So there are my two pieces. I'm going to use tear and tape to put it together. Again, you can use liquid adhesive, but you do need to leave it to dry. So for speed, I'm going to use tear and tape. So one long edge, the other long edge, then the short edges. And then these, I only actually glue one, and I'm going to glue from the inside. And I'm just going to put one piece. You can put a couple, but put them next to each other. Avoid going too near to the seam or the crease, and I will explain why when we get there. So fold on all the score lines and just gently reinforce that score. This score line I'm going to have coming out. You can have it either going in or going out. Either is fine. I'm not going to worry about the bottom too much. So that's already gone. Right, so I just need to do this one. And that's already done. Okay, so I like to burnish my adhesive down so that I know it has properly stuck, because it also makes it a lot easier to pull it up. And actually we'll do this one first. If it's properly burnished down, then the adhesive will actually stick to the card and not to the release strip. So just line your edges up and keep an eye on the crease at the bottom, because you do want that to line up as well. And then again from the inside, I'm going to burnish and then remove this piece. Now, because this is three-dimensional already, it's not square like a box. You can't just flip it. I normally flatten everything down and it all lines up. You do actually have to manipulate this into place. So again, I like to make sure that's folded would be a start. I like to make sure that my score lines meet up because they are kind of important. Black is not the easiest thing either for you or me to see, but it's kind of the right colour for this project. So that's that, and again I can go in on the inside and just burnish that down, and then remove the two side pieces. This is going to be the final piece to go down, so this is going to be, actually it's not going to be the final, so I'm going to go in, in with my sides, then in with the one that doesn't have adhesive on, and again you want to make sure that your edges are square to your score lines, because this is where it's going to become solid. Then just remove this and pop that down, and this is why I say avoid anything immediately next to the crease. So if I put sticky strip underneath here, on the inside I'd have this bit that would be sticky, which is not really what I'm looking for. So yeah, just go into the bottom, make sure everything is properly adhered, and if I grab my pile of note cards, see, they fit. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so to get keep body and soul together, I'm going to just punch either side and try and do them evenly. Famous last words. I'll do one and then I'll do the other. So there's one, and then I can squish that down and do the other. So those are at least even to each other. And then I have got some of the shimmer gold ribbon that was from the Christmas Time is Here suite. This is still available. Actually, I want to put my cards in first, otherwise I won't be able to get them in. So just pop that through there, and this through here, and then tie the ends together in a nice bow. Always a challenge when you're on camera. Hurrah! Okay, scissors to cut my ends. One. Oops. Two. Right, I do want to put something on the front. Now the front for me is here because this is where the last score is, or it's folded backwards, the bottom is folded backwards. I've got the base piece that was left. So I cut a piece of A4, International A4 card, so that it was the right width for the die. Now, International A4 is slightly longer and thinner than North American cardstock, so you won't end up in the North of America with quite such a large piece. Probably doesn't matter. All I am going to do, I thought I had mounted that up. Obviously not. I'd thought about it, but not done it. So all I'm going to do is pop the piano keys on, and I've got the of thanks, but I'm going to play games with that. So, right, okay. Embossing buddy, Versamark, stamp. I'm going to dabble that in gold embossing powder now so I can see where it is. Just get rid of the bits that I don't actually know why I kept those attached. It's going to go back in a moment anyway, so I won't worry about redoing that just yet. Now, the of thanks, I'm going to find myself a post-it note and cover up the of while I ink up thanks, and then remove that. And I can come in and just stamp thanks underneath, bring back in my embossing powder, now I have got a shadow of, but we'll deal with that in a moment. Get rid of the post-it note because it's now going to be covered in Versamark. Lid onto my box, and all I'm going to do is, with a soft brush, just make sure that I haven't got any of the of, and bring in my trusty cheese board. Now, while I'm doing this, I've just got to heat up my gun. My heat gun. Take the time to subscribe if you would like, bottom right hand corner. Remember that if you're in the UK, you can buy any of these items from me, any Stampin' Up items you can get through me. There's a link to my online store below. A thumbs up is always appreciated, and if you want to leave a comment, please leave those below and I will get back to you. So here we go. So there we are, that is suitably done. And then on my cards I used some of the So Sentimental dies, and I'm just thinking that one might just work. So let me see if I can run that through my die cutter without losing anything too much. In fact, if I go at a bit of an angle, which works. Oh no, it comes off the top. Okay, so we won't use that. It was worth a try. I should have come down a bit further. What we might be able to use, that's too big, that's going to be too small. Okay, I'm going to do, is it going to be too big? Oh no, that'll work. Right, that'll work. The moral of the story, of course, is to plan this before you go, or before you start, but hey, don't want everything planned to within an inch of its life. There we go. Right, so let me get rid of that, and I think we'll pop this up on dimensionals. And as we've got black dimensionals, let's use black dimensionals and remove the backings, and then we are done. So yes, as I say, if you would like to subscribe, that's in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. I'm aiming for 8,000 subscribers, which would be amazing, and I might possibly be tempted to do a giveaway when I get that far. So always, you know, interesting. And thumbs up, always appreciated. Say if you leave a comment, I will get back to you. I normally do the replies in one go unless there's a question. If you have a question, I try to answer that as soon as I see it. So thank you very much for joining me today. Here is our finished item, which I think would make a really nice little thank you gift, and the black and gold goes with the black and gold from the inside. So thank you very much indeed. I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.